Go. We going live. Should be live on YouTube.
Going too fast, candy paint with the windows all black, seats scrambled. All you wanna do is gas me.
Yeah,
How
one
we
two one
end
two
up
one
in the
two.
backseat, just trying to
Mic check,
get
mic check,
to the
mic check.
bag. We on the same
We
page,
here
the same
2022
way. Only keep the fam around me,
with my
so
Warren
let me know
Photography.
what it's gonna be.
We're gonna kick
I'm
off
trying to
2022
get
in a real
no
way.
sleep. While we
Testing out
doing
this
nothing,
live stream
going
with
too
StreamYard
fast. Candy paint with the windows all black,
with the
seats
sounds, with the
scrambled.
tunes,
What they gon'
and
say?
a few
At the
special
top down,
guests.
screaming money, anything. We up till
So if you're
6 in
catching
the
this live
morning.
stream,
When the sunrise,
tell a
we'll
friend
be
to tell a
on
friend.
it.
Join us
Oh, I got
here on
5,
YouTube,
we all so live.
streaming through
Tell me when to
StreamYard.
go, baby, when we gon'
Let's
slide,
go.
baby, when we gon' slide. Hey,
I feel like a DJ a little
baby,
bit.
when we gon' oh, hey, baby, when we gon' slide.
So while we wait, we're waiting for one of our special guests. Right now, one of my special guests is E-Dub, my man.
What they do?
Incredible artist, incredible photographer, new father. And I lean on him for a lot of creative insight. And I wanted him very much to be a part of this first broadcast of 2022, man. And as we set it off, he's been motivating me for a number of years to go ahead and get started and doing my thing on YouTube and having a presence on the internet. So welcome, man. Welcome. Let me see. Let me set it off like this.
Oh, that's how you gonna do.
Welcome. My man's coming fresh off maternity leave and
Yeah, man.
building.
Yeah,
So
man.
welcome,
Yeah,
man. Welcome,
daddy
man.
duty.
We love it, man. It look good on you. I appreciate you jumping on here with us. And I see we have in the room our special guest who's gonna help us kick off this conversation. So I'm gonna bounce off of both of you guys. So we're gonna bring them to the room, bring them to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. My man, RBJ Photography. Welcome.
Hey,
There we go.
yo, how y'all doing, man? E-Dub.
Yo, yo.
Hey, man, congratulations
My
on the
man.
little one. Salute to you.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I got my man here. So those of you watching now or watching the later the broadcast later on, you see it. You see the title, "Creative Differences of Opinion." When creators have a difference of opinion, and I was talking to my man RBJ earlier this week, and we were just talking about some things, and his response to content creator. His response to one of the content creators
Am I still in focus?
really drove. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
absolutely.
My
You see the
my
eyes.
Z6 with the eye autofocus.
Yes, sir. We definitely, you are in focus even with the dark shades, my brother. So so just to kind of set it off, we're gonna talk about a little bit. We're gonna talk about a little bit, and but again, this situation only serves as a springboard for a broader conversation about creativity and disagreements and differences of opinion within the creative community. And so let's talk about it. Let's jump into it, right? So if you're not following my man EW Images, you need to do that right now. If you're not following my man RBJ Photography, you need to be doing that right now. Go ahead and click on go on to Instagram and follow him on RBJ Photography. Also follow my man EW, who has an outstanding YouTube channel. He's been away for a little bit on maternity leave, as we stated, but 2022 is ours. We out here.
Coming back. Vengeance.
Yes,
So
indeed.
Ida, what did you have? Did you have a baby boy or a baby girl?
Baby girl, man. Baby girl.
Oh.
She's right here doing her thing.
Hey.
Hey, now that
Ready to
is
come out.
So
Ready to come out
basically,
and go ham
so
on
we're gonna basically find out if you lived right in your life. We're gonna find out if you treated the women in your past right, because now you got a daughter. So
always, man.
let's
Always.
see if it's gonna come back to haunt you.
Always. Always, man.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to
yeah.
find you. Hold on, Lamont. I'm trying to find you on I got my iPad over. I got the YouTube up over here
Okay,
because it'll make it easier for me to share this link to some people that I know as well. So,
for sure, for sure.
what is your YouTube?
YouTube is Lamont Warren Photography. I try to keep it all simple and all uniform.
To come up.
You know,
Is it all one word or no?
Lamont Warren Photography. No, it's 3 words. On YouTube. On Instagram, it's 1 word.
Okay, I'm on here now. I'm trying to find you. Oh, here it is.
There you go.
All right, so let me turn the volume down so we don't get any feedback on it.
There you go.
All right, let me fix my camera and get myself more in frame here.
All right.
It'll be ghetto right quick. Sorry.
Yeah, y'all gotta excuse me. I'm on the cell phone. I
It's all
didn't look up the office is still a mess, but
You got bigger
we're gonna
things.
get to that New Year's cleaning. We're gonna
You
get
got bigger things going on, E-Dub.
that.
yes,
You have a whole
indeed.
baby over there.
Right, right, for sure.
I'm about to put this out there now.
So again, if you're on now, tell a friend, and join us in this live stream, man. It's gonna be lit. So we're gonna be talking about some things, the different creative differences of opinion. So let's jump into this. So a content creator had put up, and he's obviously a Sony fan, and it really enjoys and really loves Sony cameras, as do most of us. I think we can all agree that Sony has done an amazing job and really spearheading the move to mirrorless photography and its innovation, and also doubling and tripling down on the offerings of these mirrorless cameras for the consumer market, in that the autofocus, the video capabilities, they have led the charge and they led the way in the mirrorless innovation. That being said, with the traditional heavyweights kind of being a little late to the party in terms of their innovation and their migration into the mirrorless space, uh, Sony and Nikon. And so, as you can see online between content creators, respective of their brands that they love, of course, they're gonna wave the banner of whatever whatever brand that they support and own the most.
Exactly.
And so Brandon Cole put up a post about uh the autofocus of the A7 IV and its capabilities and everything, and that prompted my brother RBJ's response to it. So I love that we are on this stream yard, so I could take the opportunity to kind of pull up. Uh, should I do it? Should I
Yeah,
pull
I
up
mean,
here and
listen.
start?
Let's just preference this
Okay,
by
go ahead.
saying, let me just, before you open it up, let me give my take on what happened.
For sure.
Okay, so I
Floor is
I am
yours.
first and foremost, I am a avid watcher of Brandon Cole photography. So I don't want anybody thinking at all that I have beef with Brandon. I don't even know him like that. We don't have beef. I like I said, I'm an avid watcher of Brandon Cole photography. I've learned a lot
Yeah,
of things from him on lighting and posing models. I respect him. A hell of a
yeah,
lot of respect for him. So I'm gonna just clear that up right now.
yeah,
He was on a live a while back, and when Brandon is in his zone about photography, like talking about the technical ins and outs of photography, the art of photography,
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there with him. I'm right there with him. I'm carrying the flag with him. I'm right there
Yeah.
with him. But when it switches to Sony, and
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of where Brandon is different from all the other Sony guys that I watch, like Manny Ortiz and those guys. They give the credit where the credit's due. I don't think that I've ever heard um, Manny Ortiz say Sony is the best in the game ever. It's the absolute beast. It's the best. It's better than everybody. I don't recall him saying that. And I know to a certain degree that that Brandon was joking. He was trolling to a certain degree, and I get that. But he just makes statements sometimes. This his opinion, and I respect it, but sometimes he kind of wills that opinion on other people. Like
Mm-hmm.
we talked in his last he did a live a while back when he first got the A74. He didn't do a review, but we just talked about things, and he pretty much was saying that the R5 and R6 is way too big, it's big and blocky, whatever. And that's his opinion again. And I just basically said, hey, listen, and I was joking with him. I said, yeah, the R5 and R6 feel like real cameras. The Sonys feel like toys. And we had a little chuckle about that. Nothing too bad. It was just friendly. But I think if people recall back into the Sony history, if you go back to the A7 II, the A7 III, the A7R4, the grip was not deep enough. Even a lot of Sony creatives complained
Right.
about the grip just being not good. I think they addressed it in the A1 and the A7 IV. I think it's been addressed. It's got a better grip and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And we had that little conversation. So that was one kind of like issue where I chimed in on. And then
Mm-hmm.
there was the infamous situation that just happened the other day where he pretty much staked claim to Sony being the best. And I think he was trolling to a degree, but he
Mm-hmm.
made some statements saying that the Sony camera can focus on glasses, in the dark, and it can focus on glasses. And he said that the Nikon and the Canons can't. Ha ha. And this is why Sony is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Now, uh, so I knew it can. I knew it could do it. So I went into the basement and just hooked up the camera and I did it. And I showed him off the Z6 too because I knew he had mentioned something about price range and all of that. So I chose the Z6 II that checks in at $2,000, $400 cheaper. And it can do it. And of course, as soon as I made that statement, the goalposts started to move further back. Now it's the price
Right.
point. Now it's the speed of it. Now it didn't lock on, it wasn't sticky enough. Now it's all of those things. But at the end of the day, he made a statement that it couldn't be done. And I showed
Yeah.
him that the Nikon can do it. And it stuck pretty good. Now we all know that Sony is the best in the game right now with autofocus. We know that. So
Yeah.
of course it stuck better on the Sony, but it was usable. It was usable.
Right.
And the only reason why I really want to make a point, I was telling Lamont this, the reason why I really want to speak out on it is because one, there are a lot of photographers that are breaking into this game new, and they're looking for gear that can do certain things. They're looking for cameras that can work for them. And then when Brandon goes out and makes a statement like that, the consumer is not hearing the fact about speed, how fast it can lock on. They're not hearing that. Oh, another thing, it was a degree of shades now. My shades were a little bit lighter. Okay, put it on the main screen, Lamont. These are black.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
these are black. And they're Oakley, so they're reflective. I can see my face in them. So that just goes
Mhm.
to show you how dark it is. So that was the other goalpost move. Oh, I didn't say tinted. I said black. Okay, whatever. Anyhow, but you got people that are out here looking for cameras, looking for new cameras and stuff. And when you have somebody spewing that type of thing,
Uh-huh.
it's like, even though he's trolling and he knows what he's talking about, he's going to use the camera a lot different than any other average photographer is going to use it. He's
Right.
a little bit deeper into the game on it. But when he puts a message out there that Canon and Nikon can't do it,
Mm-hmm.
that's telling people that it can't be done. And it's simply not true.
Right.
It's an untruth. I don't
Right.
want to call him a liar. It's an untruth. It's not true. I showed you that it can be done, and I didn't say how great it can be done. I said it can be done. So
Right.
you can roll it from there, Lamont. I just wanted to give the backdrop on that, you know.
Got you. So give me a second. Then let me wind this. Let me load the footage real quick. I want to give my man E-Dub an opportunity to kind of share his take and perspective on this disagreement as a Nikon shooter himself.
Yes.
Talk to us about um you have the Z6 yourself, right? And so talk to us about your experience while I'm loading up this particular footage. And in comparison and its snappiness, its responsiveness, and juxtaposition of the Sony.
Okay. I mean, Sony was definitely first to the game, as we've all stated. I'm of the opinion that in 2022, you can't go wrong with any of these top brands right now. It really just comes down to personal preference. In response to Brandon's video, I mean, as RBJ stated, we know that Sony is probably going to be snappier, but to make a bold statement as to state that it can't at all, as I said, it really just comes down to preference. Like, all of these cameras are great right now. It really just comes down to a shooter's preference. I agree with him in where some of these people with larger followings don't take into consideration new photographers or the people that are following them that hang on their every word. So when they make statements like that, it kind of rules out a certain market for certain photographers.
Right.
And it makes some of these newer photographers feel like if I don't have the latest and greatest, that I can't go out here and create. But then they'll come back, you know, videos later and be like, oh, I could do all this with the latest miniature camera that comes out. So it as he said, sometimes it's just trolling. I don't know him personally, so I can't speak to what his intentions were. But yeah, I feel like sometimes you do things to like you know, clickbait, you know.
Right.
So I'm not saying that his intentions were in a bad place, but maybe he just wanted to have, you know, the click-through rate a little higher.
and I guess obviously it's working, you know, as well. And to be fair, this discourse is less about that particular content creator or photographer as it is fostering a conversation behind it's okay to disagree, but it's also prudent to the individual to research on their own, and to not just take one person's word for anything, but rather research it. So let me go ahead and share RBJ's response to said content creator. So give me a second here. All right, so we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna share this tab here. I'm gonna go over here to RBJ's latest.
Bold claim that only the Sony A7 IV can eye track with sunglasses on. Here is my Z6 II, right there. Here is my model with black ass glasses on. And let's see. Oh, what is that? Oh, what is that? What is that, Brandon? Brandon Cole, what is that? Eye detection. Eye detection with jet black shades on. Okay. Quick rebuttal to Brandon Cole's bold claim that only the Sony A7 IV can eye track with sunglasses on. Here is my Z6 II, right there. There is my model with black ass glasses on. And let's see. Let's see. Oh, what is that? Oh, what is that? What is that, Brandon? Brandon Cole. What is that? Eye detection. Eye detection with jet black shades on. Okay.
That was absolutely hilarious. Yeah,
And we were just
that
having
was
fun,
hilarious.
man. We were just having
Yeah.
fun. We were just having fun
Absolutely.
with it.
And
And
you should have to be, which leads me to my next question. Why do you think a lot of these, because I did go back and just kind of do a peruse through comments and response, and boy, how super personal some of these people are when they make these bold statements, and then someone challenges their view, their opinion, and challenges their brand. They take it so personal when it, I guess when you're trolling, I guess your attempt is to be lighthearted about it, so but why is it that you think that a lot of these content creators, or a lot of people in general, are super take it super personal if you don't subscribe to their view of their particular favorite brand over another? What do you think that
I'll let Edub go first because I'm long winded and I talk. So
Oh, okay. I was gonna let you go first, but I
is?
feel that a lot of these guys they buy into their brands and they almost have to justify their purchase. So in that they mean that they'll take any opportunity to big up or point out any limitation of any other brand and take pot shots at any feature, anything, regardless of whether they're using it or not. I feel like they take pot shots at limitations of other cameras, and I feel that as most shooters, they haven't even maximized 75% of their old camera, but they're jumping to the latest and greatest because of one feature or another that they may or may not use. So sometimes I think it's kind of hilarious to listen to some of these people rattle off some of these specs because they don't even use these in normal scenarios. So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
and yeah, I'm still trying to invite some people. Sorry. So yeah, my take on that is that like Edub said, Edub is right. He's absolutely right. Again, I want to just make it very clear that I don't think that Brandon Cole was trying to be, well, maybe he was trying to be an a-hole. I don't know. I don't know. But I think he was doing it all in fun, right? But you don't have to put other people's stuff down to make yours stand up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'll tell you a really quick story. Because you see these grays in my beard, so I got some age on me. I got
Yeah.
some age on me. I'm not old, but I got some age on me. But I remember
I know
back.
what you're talking about a little.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? I don't know if you guys remember. There used to be, and I forget the name of the vacuum cleaner brand, but it used to be a top-notch vacuum cleaner. They used to come to your house and give you a demonstration of I forgot what the name of it was. It was really expensive vacuum cleaner. But the point is, the guy came into the house with my parents, and he was talking about his brand, the vacuum cleaner. And he was doing a great job, man. He was doing a good job with the display of it, showing us how it works. But then he started dogging out the Hoover, the Kirby. Yes, Phil's the Kirby. That's exactly what it was. It's the Kirby. It was a Kirby. And he was doing a great job. I mean, he almost had to sell. He had to sell, guys. He was talking about the Kirby, but he didn't know that my second mom, I like to say stepmom, my second mom was a big Hoover user. She had two of them in the freaking linen closet, Hoovers, right? And all of a sudden, right in the middle of the presentation, my mom got up and walked out and said, my father goes by the name of Bob. I don't. She said, Bob, you finished with this. I'm going in the room. And the guy couldn't understand why. He couldn't understand what happened. He's like, well, what did I do? And my father explained to him that, let your product speak on its own.
Yeah.
My wife didn't like the fact that you put down a product that she has invested money in to prop yours up. And the moral of the story is he lost a sale on it. He lost a sale because he put down the Hoover, and he didn't understand his audience. The audience was a Hoover family. So to go with E-Dub says, or Perkins says in the comments, you can't be propping your brand up by putting somebody else's brand down.
Yeah.
So that was just an example of that. And I just think that at the end of the day, man, seriously, I could understand all the other accolades that the Sony has, and I get it. But at the end of the day, man, if you're struggling with your freaking getting eye focus on the shades, just take the single point and move it over to the glasses, take the picture, and we're done.
Right.
Do you think for 1 minute that my client is mad because my eye focus is not hitting your sunglasses? Hey, take your sunglasses off. Just put the doggone pointer on the glasses and keep shooting. But I understand what he was saying. He was trying to tout that ability of the camera. Well, just tout it.
Right.
Why bring Nikon and Canon up?
Right. I've heard it said that a lot of Sony users are backsliding Canon users for the very same reason, this idea of autofocus. And I understand the importance of it, and that is big news. But to your point, like being able to use single focus and get your focus point on where you want it to go, it appears like right about now, people want the camera to do just about everything for them.
Pretty much.
True. But I mean, when you really think about it, let's just give a little history of Sony.
Yeah.
Sony's in the mirrorless business because they couldn't make a DSLR to save their lives. DSLR was crap. So Canon and Nikon had the market on the DSLR. So they had to pivot and come this way. And they've done a great job with the mirrorless. And they had their struggles with the autofocus too in the beginning of the Sony mirrorless.
Right.
But what Brandon has to let's forget. It's never about Brandon. Let's just, because I like Brandon. Let's put it like this. The fact of the matter is Sony has been doing it for how long? Years, right?
Yeah.
And Nikon with the Z6 II, and then even better with the Z9, and then Canon with the R5 and the R6, where it was an upgrade from the R.
Right.
They pretty much caught up with Sony in how many years?
Yeah.
3 to 4 years. They have caught Sony, and they're right there. Now, notice before somebody watches the review and the Sony people go crazy, I didn't say surpassed it.
Right.
It's right there. And E-Dub just made a perfect statement. He said in 22, the year 22, this year, all of these cameras are good cameras.
Yeah.
The autofocus is good. I've seen YouTube videos where people struggle with the Sonys. I mean, I know people hate Chelsea and they hate Tony. I know they hate them. I don't know why. Tony is a little different, but they hate them. But they have no skin in the game. They're Nikon, they're Canon, and they're Sony.
Right.
They do them all, and they've shown the imperfections of all of them. They've shown the imperfections of Sony. They've shown the imperfections of Nikon. They've shown the imperfections of Canon. They all exist.
Right.
All of the imperfections exist, man.
Right.
So, and let me tell you, I have the Canon R5, and there's a reason why there are workarounds, just like there are reasons for workarounds on Canon. Hey, let's talk about the workaround on Sony. Sony has that always focus point active and live all the time. Why is it? It's set because in the case of an event, in the case of fire, break the glass. No, in the case of an incident, they're going to use that backup focus to get to attain the focus on the subject. In the event that the Sony focus craps out. Just like Canon, I have the ability to put that focus square on my screen at all times, just in case I cannot properly acquire focus on my subject, or if I have two subjects in the frame, I can use the temporary focus, or that always on focus, put it on that person and activate it. So
Right.
my point is, none of these systems are fail-proof. None of them are perfect.
Right.
None of them. What T-Med? None of them are perfect. So, at this point, it's coming down to preference. It's coming down
Right.
to preference at this point.
To your point, man, I love all of these brands. To be honest with you, I was when I went decided to go full frame. I was I was having a really hard time choosing between a Canon and a Nikon. I love how those colors look on those Nikons, man. I fell in love with it. I ended up shooting an event. I had my 5D Mark IV on one side, and then I had a D 750 OMG,
Good
and I
man.
had them images up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like both of these cameras are fire to me. And I had a chance to at one of the I think it was Photo Plus, and I had a A7 III because I was still in a DSLR, so I saw it. I was like, "Oh, okay, this joint is pretty cool." But I did have a issue with the ergonomics and holding it in my hand. But as far as images, some of the outstanding photographers that utilize these different brands, man, I'm like, yo, they're doing great work. So to Edub's point, it's not a bad camera out there. People ask me all the time, like, what camera should I choose? Like which, and I understand how people who are content creators, who people see all the time, they see their work, their images, how they can be persuaded by their opinion one way or another. I think what we're all saying is that it's very important for us to um make our own decision based on, does it do what I need it to do? And just take it from there and not bash one brand over another. So absolutely. In 2022, man, it's technically not a bad camera out there. I won't
Everybody's winning. Everybody's
yeah,
winning in 22, man. Everybody's
sh-
winning. And you got people like T-Mid on the line. One of the coolest brothers I've had the opportunity to meet.
yeah. Come on through, T Meg. Want to jump on this? Come
He's on
on
the
in and
line.
add your take to it if you're available. I
He
know
has
you
shown
always got
you.
a shoot going on somewhere.
He has shown you that you can get it done with anything.
Yeah,
SJ Square also shoots with his Sony, gets it
yeah,
done. Shoots with his Nikon, gets it done. T-Mid shoots with his Nikon, gets it done.
absolutely.
There's a Facebook group, man, and it's called Black Photographers, man. What's my man's name? I can't think of his name right now. But the dude shoots a freaking T7, Canon T7, and let
Come
me
on.
tell you, he would shoot the brakes out of a lot of people, off a lot of
Yeah,
people.
Oh yeah.
He would shoot the brakes off a lot of people with that TI, that Rebel.
yeah.
It's these cameras are a tool, and I get it. I understand that people love they love their brands. And Lamont, for a fact, I went through that. Remember, I went through that, man.
Yeah,
I'm Nikon to the bone,
yeah,
and I am. I'm Nikon to the. I love Nikon,
yeah.
but hey, Nikon was slipping, and I wanted something that was in that D850 realm on the mirrorless
Mm,
side, and
yeah.
the Z7 II is good. I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna. I didn't want that one.
Mhm.
I just felt like the R5 was there for me, and now I'm not just a Nikon. I'm a cross brand shooter now, and
Yeah,
I don't plan to go back to just Nikon. Yeah, I'm going to be Nikon and Canon for the foreseeable future moving forward.
and ain't nothing
Because
wrong with that.
it ain't nothing wrong. I just like I have the best of both worlds between my Z6 II and my
Mhm.
R5. Now I don't have the bread for the Z9, So I won't be getting that one, but I am waiting patiently to see what happens because what I want for Nikon. If Nikon is going to hear this at any point in time, make sure you hashtag them. What I want from Nikon to do is I want Nikon to come with a Z8 or whatever. And it does not have to be the D850. I'm thinking somewhere around 36 megapixels because you already got the Z7 II at 45 megapixels. Come on in with the Z9 technology. And I know we won't get all of the Z9 technology, but the sensor and that focusing, autofocus, for sure we have to have that. If they can, and I don't care, call it Z, I don't know, call it Z5. Let's call it Z10. I don't care what you call it. But 36 megapixels is a sweet spot right in there. 33 to 36 megapixels will be a sweet spot. And I'm buying another one.
Okay.
I'm going to have 3 bodies. But I know that my third body is going to be probably back to Nikon on that third body because I want something higher than the 24 megapixels. And I think the 36 is right there. So I'll come back. I'll bounce back Nikon on that next generation somewhere in 2023 because I got to imagine it's going to be somewhere late 22 or 23 when they come back with it. But, you know, at the end of the day, E-Dub said it. These things are tools.
Yeah.
They're tools. I'm just the type of I am the exact person that E-Dub described.
Yeah,
I am the person that got to have the latest and greatest, all of that. And I thank my father for that because as a kid, he was a photographer. He's still living. He was a photographer and he had all these latest and greatest tech, whether it was cameras, whether it was VCRs, whether it was, yes, I am of the VCR era, VCR, all of that stuff. My father was a tech and that's all I knew. So yeah, my wife laughs at me now. Why you gotta have that? My cousin Lawan Spears Photography gets on me all the time. You don't need that. You're not even using that. I know, but I gotta have it. But I can't climb. I can't climb to that Z9 situation right now. I can't do that. But
so E-Dub, that's a good segue into another question. Assuming finances is not an issue, what is your next camera of choice? What would you like to see in your next camera?
I really like everything they did with the Z9. I'm not mad at what they did with the Z9.
You about to do it? You about to do it?
Oh no. My he said if finances were not
were not an issue, what would be your next?
There's somebody over here that said, "Oh no, Z9, sir." No. But not.
Assuming you get the lottery or something, like what will be your camera choice next?
Like I said, I really like everything they did with the Z9. Snappier autofocus. If they can have internal recording, internal in-log, because I fell in love with the Atomos and the 10-bit recording. So if they can make that internal, you got a winner out of me. Like I don't need much.
Gotcha. Internal recording, maybe a little ProRes 122.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I still love my Z6 and not the Z6 II and all that. Like, there's very few for what I'm doing situations where I have a problem, or if I have a problem, we're problem solvers. So you know.
Exactly.
Hey, it's funny that you said it because the Z6, I was just looking at that because I had to do. You don't understand. To get into this R5, I had to sell the D850. Sorry, teammate. I had to sell the D850 and all of my F lenses to get into this R5. And then, so I was hanging on a dear life with my Z7, right? And I had my Sigma 105-14, right? And then here comes the 85 1.2. Bye-bye Z6. Bye-bye 105 1.5. I had to give it all up.
Take everything.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all what. If there's one thing I could really say something about Canon and hashtag Canon too in this thing, man,
Yeah.
y'all need to lower the prices of them damn RF lenses, man. Y'all done took all of my Nikon shit from me, all of it. You done took it all.
Listen, it is not a transition to be taken lightly.
Oh yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, T-Mid has entered the building.
T-Mid.
What's really good? T to the M to the I D.
D.
What it is?
Man,
My brother.
I see y'all on here live. I said, man, let me hop on.
Hold on, T-Mid, hold up. Introduce him again, right quick.
T to the M to the I D.
D.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. You know, it's funny because I try to find a phrase to coin. You know what I mean, to make it marketable. You know what I mean. So I was kind of fumbling with things, and
you did that.
I was wondering if that was gonna stick when I first thought of it, and man, when it came around, like everybody knows that.
Yeah. It's a keeper. Now all we gotta do is get that little girl to give up her Instagram handle.
Man.
Which one is that?
Your Instagram can match your YouTube.
Yeah, right now I did change it for the beginning of the year, so it is now T-Mid. I just put an underscore behind it.
Hold on, somebody else had T-Mid?
Yeah, my Instagram is now.
Wow, I didn't know somebody else had it. Wow.
Yeah, for the last year, T-Man and I have been trying to use different tactics to get her to surrender the name. I be in T-Man's DM. I'm like, bro, this don't make no sense.
I'm telling you.
I'm shouting T to the M to the IDD, and I look on your Instagram name, sound like you live in India or something.
What was it? NASA boy?
Yeah. I was like, I'm confused. So I was in the young ladies, and she didn't respond yet. I'm like, listen, I got a whole box of cookies.
She don't even post. Don't even post on it.
Yeah, she ain't even on the thing.
Yeah,
she made to set her some money. Maybe that would have got her. Let throw you $20. You'll get it back on your YouTube stream.
Yeah,
Whatever YouTube that you have.
I actually just put the video out with the desk setup that I did, and that's one thing that I was looking at with being able to actually monetize stuff. And so, just from like the views on YouTube, I was able to buy like this new monitor. So it definitely has been coming through, and also figuring out how to monetize other things, Because when I look at it, I just was looking at like my analytics for this whole situation, and I do like about 30,000 views a month.
Nice.
So,
I was talking to E-Dub earlier, and I was like, I love that you took the idea of committing to vlogging every day. And now that I got you on here, man, I just want to salute you and just say how proud I am of you of doing that, because what that does is it, for those who are not that used to being in front of the camera and talking and getting used to hearing your own voice and committing to a set amount of time to produce the content every day. And I don't think people really understand how much that takes, as opposed to doing a video a week. You're talking about 25 days of Vlogmas, and you're committing to putting out video after video after video. And I don't know what your process is, and maybe you could take a few minutes to talk about how you plan to do it, or if you're anything like me. I can't say I'm the greatest planner, strategize step by step what's going to happen. I'm more of a off the cuff kind of person, so I may freestyle it, half of it, and then script some of it. Talk to us about your process of your creative process in deciding to do the 25 days of Vlogmas.
Yeah, so I always try to challenge myself. I know that I knew from when I first really said that I was going to take YouTube serious. I always started setting goals from there. So uh,
Hmm.
it first started with doing one video a week. So 2019, it was like one video a week. So then I told myself in 2020, like let's kind of pick up the pace.
Yeah.
So that kind of transition. Then we get to 2021, and I made new goals, and then the goal was 10 videos a month, which
Hmm.
seems like a lot. But when I gradually stepped into it, I kind of seen like, hey man, I'm putting out videos pretty frequently. So, it's not really taking as much toll as I thought it would. So that
Hmm.
kind of helped me prepare to be able to say, okay, if I put out 10 videos right here, we're talking about 15 more. So it was basically the end, coming to the end of the end of November, and I was
Hmm.
still toggling with the situation because, like you said, I already knew that when you talk about that much content, you are talking about a lot of editing. So
Hmm.
a lot of editing, a lot of recording, a lot of concepts being thrown around. And if you stay in tune with my vlogmas, I didn't just put out a photo shoot every time. Like my stuff
Correct.
was
Yeah,
everywhere.
you had a
I wanted
nice
to get
gumbo.
yeah, I wanted to touch everything. That was my whole process. I was like, everybody know I could do a photo shoot. Well, what about if I put out a video with film? What about if
Hmm.
I interact and let folks edit some of my photos? What if I put
Yeah.
out one that I got a great response from was I did the vlog in Miami where I incorporated some photography, but it was more so a vlog.
Yeah.
And that one got received really well, which you start to learn your audience, and sometimes you can't put out things like that because it's going to flop.
Right.
so uh, so
Right.
sometimes you're like, my audience ain't don't really want to see that. So what I kind of did was I have a desktop set up, and I
Hmm.
have a sticky notepad on there. And so
Okay.
that sticky notepad, I just anytime I get an idea, I just put it down on that sticky notepad. No matter if I get to it or not, I just always have something to fall back on if ideas are running low.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So what I ended up doing was it was probably about the last week of November, and I finally said, you know what? I'm going to try Vlogmas one time.
Hmm.
Uh, the reason why I wanted to try is because I didn't want the 25 days of Vlogmas to go past and then look back on it and say, man, I should have just did it,
Yeah.
because the time already passed. So in preparation for that, I really was editing a lot of my videos concurrently. So
Hmm.
uh, the first week, I probably had like 4 days in November where I was able to record a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
But then I had 7 day periods within December. So I would have a video for Monday, but
Hmm.
I would be editing a video for the next Monday as well. So then Tuesday would come, I would be editing for the next Tuesday, third Wednesday, so on and so forth. It got it got pretty consistent and I was good. But then what happened was I started prioritizing things and things started shifting. So like Ike jumped on, did talk with Ike. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
I know that if I want to, show this unboxing that I
Hmm.
did, this new product, I know that I need to show the unboxing before I could release the photo shoot that I did with it because it just makes sense.
Right.
So I had kind of like that process with the videos, and then it kind of got a little trickier towards the end because, like, right in the middle of Vlogmas, I switched from PC to uh, the Mac,
Hmm.
and I was out of town. and I left one of my hard drives. So it got kind of crazy towards the end, but luckily it was the end and I was able to finish it out.
Oh man, that's what's up. So let me ask you this. So as most and shout out to Photo Me Ike is in the comments. What's going on? My G, he's definitely been an inspiration to most of everybody on this line.
Oh yeah.
Some way
So
or another. So salute the OG Photo Me Ike, even though I'm older than him by so many years, but he's definitely a content creator that we all look up to. Yeah, I need that sound bite. I need that. I need that sound bite. What up, Ike? So, mostly every content creator on this call has dealing with editing, and with you doing the 25 days of Vlogmas, how has that uh impacted your editing? Because I talk to E-Dub about it all the time about editing is like, and you talking about editing video, is one thing, but editing photos is one thing, but then editing video, and most of you all know that I'm on a big project doing a docu series, and we have so much footage that we have to kind of go through and call through and to prioritize
yeah,
and for you to like every day for 25 days or so editing footage that can be what 45 minutes to an hour maybe,
man.
and in terms of length that you have to compress, and you have to do sound design, and you have to do all of these things. How has your editing skills improved from the first day of Vlogmas to the last day?
That's a good question because at first, it's different genres. So uh, with my photo shoots, I kind of have a skeleton because,
Hmm.
um, like my indoor studio shoots, I
Yeah.
kind of have a skeleton for those, and then the outdoor ones, I kind of have a skeleton for those. But I will say, as I started getting more in depth with Vlogmas, um, of course, I already know like some shortcuts when it comes to editing,
Hmm.
but I started doing some things, so much that I started looking at some tutorials and started learning even more, quick keys.
Hmm. Oh
just
yeah.
to, just to expedite, certain maneuvers that I needed to do and make it that much easier for me. So in terms of like photo shoots,
Hmm.
those I was able to do a lot quicker as far as calling through the video footage. And actually, while I'm doing the photo shoot, I kind of know what sticks out to me, and I kind of try to take note on what I think most people will want to see and try to keep the content interesting. So I
Hmm.
try, even though I'm a one-man band, if you look at that, sometimes I always try to change the camera angle every once in a while because I know personally myself, I don't want us to see the same camera angle the whole time I'm looking at the photo shoot.
Facts. These are
So,
facts.
so certain things like that, bring interest to the picture. So it's certain things like that. Now, what I will say, the hardest videos to edit are vlogs. They are the
Okay.
whole hardest ones because you try to tell a cohesive story and try to keep people entertained and try not to put too much fluff in.
Hmm.
So, and then also you try to bring the environment to the video with adding extra sounds and things like that. So, uh,
Right.
I would definitely say that Miami vlog was probably the hardest one to put together just because of how I had to sync everything.
Right.
It was, it was worth it in the end because even sometimes, I go back and look at a video and was like, hey man, this was pretty good. But even like the 2021 reel I put out, like
Hmm.
man, I had just in December, like you said, I probably put out like 30 videos. And then each ever month I put out at least 10 videos. So I had over 100 and something videos to go through to make the 2021 reel. And I was like, man, there's no way I could put all this in there. But when I did put what I did, I was like, this tells a decent story to me, and it looks great to me. It does look like I had fun. I can't lie. When I look back at the video, I watched it probably 3 times myself, just because I'm like, man, I really had fun in 2021. It was a lot of work, but I had fun.
I mean,
Hey,
it looked like it, man.
Answer me this question, T-Man. Answer me this question. Was it more difficult to edit that video, or was it which was harder? Editing that video or pronouncing those girls' Instagram names?
Facts.
Man, look, when I did that, the thing with that is like YouTube, if you try to, act like you're somebody that you're not, it's going to be hard to keep creating content because the real you is going to show. So that just had me like in my element, So like in Miami, talking with them, laughing, I was relaxed. They was having a good time. I was having a good time. When anytime, you can make those punchline jokes, things like that, it's always a nice icebreaker. So
For sure, because that's one of the things that I remember. I mean,
yeah.
Everything else was dope, but you was like, look, we're gonna go left to right.
Yeah.
And y'all gonna say y'all names.
Listen.
I don't want to
spell it out.
It was some names too. There was some names in there, man.
It was some names. The first time they started, I didn't have a light on. And like I forgot this company had sent me this portable light. So when they first started, it was dark. And I said, the first person started, I said, all right, hold on. I said, hold on, let me get my portable light because we need to light this up. And then I said, all right, this is the best time to put a punchline in for the joke, because I didn't even get to hear the rest of their names, just the first one. So when you get to the last person name, I was like, oh man.
That was pretty wild. I was like, oh man. I said he got his hands full with that one. He got his hands full with that one, man. So hey, LeBron, ask him, let's get his opinion.
Okay. I'm gonna ask that question. Let me ask this question too. I see that you made it out of Miami, which is my hometown, by the way.
Yeah.
Dade County all day, 305 stand up. All right. I see that you made it out of there unscathed with all of your equipment and ID.
Everything.
Unlike a certain content creator who my heart goes out to. But talk to me how you moved in those Dade County streets with thousands of dollars worth of gear. I saw you had the real good Manny Ortiz joint out there, modifier out there, and you made it out of there unscathed. Did you employ a neighbor, a native of the area, or what did you do to make sure that your equipment was safe?
First of all, I think first thing is first. I mean, I know it probably doesn't come off like that a lot through YouTube. I am from the hood, so I am from the trenches, born and raised. So if T-Man had to get down, it's gonna be what it is. But also I had probably like 3-4 people with me.
Yeah.
So I had the guys with me, so I think that probably was more than likely a big factor as well. On Ocean Drive, we did run into a couple instances where people were intoxicated, but for me, my mindset whenever I travel, I want to have fun,
right?
But I also know where there's fun is also a time where I can create content. So like me talking to those girls, that was supposed to be a whole video by itself, but it just got so intense when they just saw the camera and they wanted to do everything else except take a picture. They, you know what I mean? And
Right.
sometimes I hesitate on putting certain stuff in the video, but I was like, you know, they twerking. Let me put that in there because I feel like they got to see this. That
Right.
was the majority.
That's why I always crack up at your video with the strangers, because I'm like, I've tried that concept in DC and it went left. Like, that content is right on the cutting floor.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay.
I'm telling you, the audio is like, I'm like, man, I can't use this. So I'm like, how can I creatively use this? Because it's just, you know, they saying everything down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Miami. That's what Miami do when you get out there, bro.
Yeah. But I did have that beach photo shoot.
That was dope.
Down there, that was a
That was dope.
lot of people that it was a lot of photographers down there. But I was happy that I was able to do that photo shoot because one, it definitely was something that I could put in my portfolio.
Absolutely. So next time you decide to go out that way, hit me up. I got a ton of spots that's even better to shoot in terms of a beach, because you're you pass 7 better beaches to get to Long Beach. Just so everybody knows. So just take it from a native standpoint. South Beach is it's just the most commercial one.
Yeah.
But a few miles in either direction, you'll find a better beach and not as crowded. So you can just have your way in terms of the content that you could shoot without interference or without people, being, in the way of your shoot, or even worry about anybody, coming up to you, taking your stuff. So
that's another big situation. I know I was just trying to get a time lapse, and the female photographer was just like everywhere in my time lapse. I said, man, okay, I'm gonna just have to keep it. I can't.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time when I'm shooting content in the city, it's not even so much that I'm scared somebody to walk off with my stuff, because as T-Mid said, don't let the smile fool you. But it's just it's people are attracted to it, so it ain't so much that they'll try to take it. It's just they crowd around it, and it's like, hey man, I'm trying to do something. Like, you go back and look at the footage, and it's somebody throwing up a peace sign and all this extra stuff, and you're like, okay. And if I left it on autofocus, sometimes it may have followed this dude, and I'm like, all right, now I can't use none of that.
There's the Nikon autofocus.
Oh, hey.
Started it back. That's a good segue. So T-Mid, RBJ wanted me to get your take on as you can see on the title of this YouTube live stream is creative difference of opinion. And of course, what sparked this whole conversation was RBJ's response to old boy Brandon Cole's comments regarding autofocus, of course, Sony being superior to and then saying that it couldn't do what Nikon and Canon couldn't do in terms of autofocus on somebody with shades on in the dark or whatever. So
before you let him speak, and there has been a response shot back at me.
Another one? He responded
on my personal one. Hold on a second.
Okay, hold on. This
ain't no beef. This ain't no beef. It's just real talk.
Yeah.
He said, yo, those glasses is like lightly tinted, bro. Okay, here are the glasses. See the glasses? They're pretty black. Okay, you can see the eyes in it. He said, I can see her eyes in the video, and he laughed. He said, I'm sure everyone else can really see it too. Are you really making the claim that Your Z6 can track as good as the Sony A1 and A7 IV. And here's what I responded. I said, no, I didn't say that. I said only that the Z6 can do it. It can be done. I've done it with darker shades. I just didn't have those. And I said, there it is right there. I said, let's make it clear. Hit that right there. I said, let's make it clear. The Sony is a beast, but you don't have to put down other brands. Sony speaks for itself. That's all, brother. That's all I was trying to say. But in his video, he was saying out of his mouth that my Sony can do what Canon and Nikon can't do. And then as I showed the video, I know you guys are familiar with the phrase moving the goalpost. The goalpost started being moved further back. Now that the Z6 can do it, you saw the goalpost being moved back. Are you saying that the Sony can do it, the Z6 II can do it as much as the Sony, as better as the Sony, and blah 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 as the Sony? I didn't say that. Those are the goalposts being moved. I didn't say that. I just simply said the Z6 can do it. And then the other caveat was someone mentioned the Z9 can do it, I'm sure, but he said, hey, let's get back to the shades of the glasses, the tint, and then the pricing of the camera became an issue. So there you go, backdrop.
So obviously there's a creative difference, but we were talking about like what is your take on it? So Edub share with us what many of us think it's not a bad camera out there right about now. Like you can pretty much cover your eyes and pick one. But what is your take on the whole this whole creative disagreement and all this brand fanboying and all of that? So talk to us about what your perspective is as a content creator yourself.
Yeah, so I agree, like right now it's a great time to be a creative just because, like you said, pretty much any camera that you pick up, you can do what you need to do. I mean, I've used the D3200 and got good pictures, and on my channel I've used the Sony A6000 and got good pictures. So now when you talk about, I've used the Canon R5, the Nikon Z7 II, Sony, the newer Sony, and I definitely agree that right now it's going to give you what you need, especially
I love it.
Man.
I love it.
Team Ed, am I clear? Am I looking good?
Yeah.
Is he in focus?
You're looking like a Cyclops over there. But you definitely have the range with all of the cameras nowadays to get what you want, and then you really begin to be unique when it comes to the editing portion, in my opinion. But I was just saying the same thing probably, or during the week of Christmas, I had a photo shoot and I was in Atlanta, and the model had sunglasses on that were dark. And I made that statement ironically, before this situation even came up. I was on the live and I showed the camera. I showed the live stream my camera, and I was like, "Look, man, she got glasses on. It's still picking up the eye." And this is before I guess he made any of those disclaimers that it couldn't be done. So no, I definitely think, and me personally, I just happen to have Nikon, but I will pick up any brand that I can.
Facts.
And I had the chance to use the Canon R5, picked it up. Sony, picked it up.
From your experience now being one that has had the ability to touch other brands and utilize them and showcase them on your channel, speaking to I guess you may have already spoken to their abilities autofocus wise. So shout out
Yeah,
to Photo Me Ike that just joined the call. He's in the building, putting his earpieces on.
A lot of wires there.
But
yeah. I think
is there a real difference?
we all know, Sony got it as far as our autofocus.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know that.
Agreed.
Things that I don't like with the R5 is like low light autofocus.
Yeah, we trash on low light.
Yeah, and then Nikon. I'm a Nikon user, but if I would say, if the thing that makes me like Nikon is the colors. Like I love the colors out of it.
Yeah,
But
sure.
autofocus, like I'm shooting portraits, so
Mm.
it's really not. I'm not in the instance where it's like make or break.
Right,
So now I feel like we are at a point where we kind of nitpicking with the autofocus.
right, right, right. It sounds real petty Betty in high school to me when I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, my toy is better than your toy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm in my basement. Matter of fact, shout out to Ike. We supposed to have a Strugio show off.
Oh, that's gonna be
Okay.
dope. That's gonna be dope. Do we have a date? Do we have a date?
Hey, no. I'm still trying to bake it in there.
Unmute yourself, Ike.
I shot him the concept.
Yeah, I look here. Look, I don't even know what to say about that one.
Hey, that's a Strugio versus.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, look. Oh, you mean you want to do a greatest hits? Like we can do.
Hey.
I got a good 20.
Oh, hey, that might be something that.
But hold on, T-Mid, you got to add here. I'm gonna be in the middle of this between you guys. Now you're gonna do this Strugio. Ike is gonna laugh because he know what I'm about to say. It's about the photographer, and you got to find your dopest model that has the most energy and it's the craziest. So you got to have those two criteria. The Strugio got to be a struggle, and the model got to be crazy. The model got to be crazy. Crazy hype. It got to happen. Like Weezy hype. Weezy hype.
I kind of updated my struggle situation, so I got to change my Veripose system back to the regular pose and get some ripped paper, and you know what I mean. I got to make it back a super struggle.
You got to go to Home Depot and get those big flash things that Ike had. Them boards.
Hey, yeah, them struggle flats.
Yeah, the struggle flat. Y'all serious now? You got people on this. You got people. It's got to happen now. It ain't no backing out of that.
So y'all heard it first here. Struggle Studio versus. That's what I'm
talking about. Put your best designer on it and put your best. What is it? Thumbnail. We got to have the best thumbnail that's gonna be dope out this world. It's gonna get some views.
I like that.
Y'all know I'm the clickbait king, right? Come on now.
Yeah, I know.
The only person that clickbait better than me is Tony Northrup. All right, he the clickbait guy.
Oh my god,
yeah, clickbait king.
Yeah, straight up. Straight up. So I think you kind of picked up by now what this live stream is about. I saw you all in the comments as well, but it was RBJ's response to Brandon Cole claims of his Sony camera doing what Nikon and Canon cannot. So, of course, you the OG on this YouTube thing on here. We want to give you the opportunity to respond, and and we saw you in the comments. You know, but
look,
like I said before, it's less about that particular individual, but just kind of this tendency on this tendency on the internet for people to kind of trash one brand over another. So just kind of talk to that for us in any fashion that you feel.
You know, I always feel like, I think T-Mid said it earlier. Somebody said it earlier, like all of this, my brand is better than your brand crap is just stupid. And a lot of times, a lot of my I hope it's not too windy out here because I got a headset on. Hopefully it's not too bad. A lot of
You
my mantra or whatever, or me going as hard as I do, I just be trying to defend Nikon because I feel like Nikon don't be getting the respect it deserves, and so I feel like I gotta go hard just to make Nikon look good. Like yo, Nikon ain't that bad, so I gotta like, I gotta throw a little extra sauce on like what I said. Like when I made that meme about y'all hoes don't know how to use your camera. You crying about autofocus. Sometimes you gotta take control. That's just because, like, Nikon gets a lot of flack. And I'm just like, what did they say? An unchecked lie can become the truth. And I just don't like people going lying on my folks and them. So I just I gotta check the lies. And shout out to RBJ for checking the lies, because I saw it, but the individual we talking about, I tend to try not to get triggered anymore by him. So I just be like, okay, all right, whatever, right? Because we didn't have our little situation, so I'm over it now. So I'm just like, whatever, okay, whatever. You want to, cool. I just don't pay him no mind. I've been hoping that other people are smart enough not to pay him no mind either, but a lot of them don't. And not you, RBJ. I mean, pay him no mind in the fact that, like, if you like, what people do, then like what they do and watch it for entertainment. But when you start taking people seriously as like experts on situations, I'm like, you sure that this person's an expert? Because how they talk and how they move, it don't seem like they really know what they be talking about. But okay,
right. And Ike, let me just tell you this. Ike, this is why I responded, and I get what you're saying. This is why I responded, because I said it earlier. There are photographers out there that are new, that are getting into this game, and we have to be responsible, right? You can't say stuff like that, and then you end up getting somebody spending more money, $500 more, because the Z6 II. I'm not advocating Z6 II. I'm just giving an example. Z6 II is 1996. The 7.4 is 2,500, and he said it can't be done, and it can. So you're going to get somebody to buy into a system that they may not necessarily need to buy into just to have that feature. And
it's good that you did. I can't do it, because if I do it, I look crazy. So somebody else got to step up to the plate. I'm glad you did, because you see I reposted it, so I don't mind backing up when I see the truth. But if I go out and then I do, it's just like, then I got to respond to I got to respond to Jay Poland, I got to respond to BBC, I got to respond to Tony North, I got to respond to everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so I was like, somebody else got to come out here and be like, yo, these niggas is lying. I mean, these people are lying.
and again, I'm saying it again. I don't have a beef with Brandon. Brandon's cool. It's a lot of things.
It's not that. Yeah, like, no, I 100%. This is. Go ahead.
RBJ copping. Hold on, man. Don't be doing that on the line.
What's that?
You copping out on the line? No,
I'm not. I'm just saying I don't have a. This ain't no Suge Knight versus Tupac. I mean, Biggie versus Tupac. It's my damn opinion, man.
But you know what? Why people? Why has our society become so soft that, like, anytime you like rebuke or rebuttal somebody, it's like you gotta have a problem with somebody for you to tell the truth.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
I just know how
that's
social
the whole
media
reason for that conversation is. I think what stood out to me, and RBJ just showed a very recent response, and it sounds so emotional. It's like, okay, if you're entitled to your opinion, then I'm entitled to mine, right? And so, why is there this emotional response to?
Because you ain't put the mirrors in like I did, man. You wouldn't have been great.
Look, bro. Go to his page. He wrote 2 essays. He really went at me. I mean, he said, I'm a grown. Now, look, when somebody say I'm a grown ass man, they pissed off. When they leave the I'm a grown ass man,
exactly.
I'm like, I'm not trying to piss you off. First of all, you made the video and you said that Sony and Nikon people are going to be mad, but then you end up being mad.
Right.
You said Sony make it make sense. Make it make sense.
He don't want to end up getting mad.
Y'all understand what I deal with? This is why I just be quiet now. I just be like, I just shut up, because I'm just like, anything you say, like when I learn how people can be like, all right, if I say something And y'all know I throw jokes out. I'm crazy, but it's I'm wild with it. But it is what it is. I'm the same person, and I'm the same way in person as I am. And I don't mean nothing by it. Like I don't mean no harm. I'm not trying to like down anybody. But if I see some shit, I'm gonna say some shit. So when people get like all in their feelings, I'm just like, yo. And I'm also somebody that I don't back down. And if it's gotta go there, then it's gotta go there. Because I'm prepared to accept the responsibility or the consequences for the shit I say. Like that's just how it is. When you say some stuff, you can't control how people react. So you gotta take what come to that. And like I don't mean for people to get offended, but if you get offended, cool, all right, my bad. And if you want to take it further than that, okay, cool. 50 Cent said it best, and this is the quote I live by. He said, I don't have a problem with anybody, but if somebody wants a problem with me, then it's no problem. And I'm like, yo, that is how I feel about everybody and about everything. Like I don't want no problems, but if anybody want a problem, it's no problem. Like so, and I know that about myself. That's why I shut up, because I'm like, yo,
you can have freedom of speech, but you're gonna pay these consequences.
Yeah, and I'm willing to take it there. So I just, what? Let me not like, let me not make it bigger than me. Because at the end of the day, like, I can be like, it's a problem, and tomorrow be like, we cool. That's how I am. But other people might not be that way. Some people it might stick with them. It might. I'm married, right? So for those of us who married,
yeah.
Today it's an issue. Tomorrow, who cares? But for them, it's still an issue.
Hey, what did Cardi B say? We gonna be forever.
Yeah. So it's like I learned from being married for 15. I've been married for 15 years, so I'm like, I know how to deal with people like that now. So I just like, I'm just leaving it alone. So all right, cool, whatever. It is what it is. But going back to what I was saying, like I don't feel like you saying what needs to be said is cause for contention or it's got to be a problem. But like somebody got to tell the truth, and I can't be the one to do it all the time. So.
Right. I loved it. I loved it, but I thought it was an excellent conversation to be had, because so many different content creators have strong opinions and strong views about the brands that they support and everything. But just the emotional response to me, I don't understand it. Just from the outside looking in, I'm like, okay, what?
But Lamont, it's like we talked about
you
earlier. Every camera, the Sony, the Canon, and now the Nikon on the Z9 side, they all have built-in features to overcome the failure of the autofocus system. They're not perfect. Canon has the always-on box. Sony has the always-on box, and I saw on the Z9 snippets that now they have that little always-on box where you can put it on the person you want to put it on. To use T-Mid's word, if the focus system starts to flake, it starts to flake, So that tells you right there, in and of itself, that no system is perfect. There is no perfect camera. There's no perfect system. So
yeah, and that's the thing. It gets more annoying when people do that, or the truth. Like that, like let's say like if it was a situation where like one brand, like one camera brand just couldn't do it, and it's like, dang, well he right, they can't do it. But all of these cameras can take great pictures. All of these cameras are very capable. Like all of these brands are capable. So when you see people like being toxic like that, it's just like, man, why is this still a thing? Like, why are we still?
Yeah.
I made a whole video. I'm a Nikon. I own Nikon. I shot a whole video with a Sony and gave Sony his props or whatever.
Right.
And that was that. Like I didn't say like, well, it's sucking. I was just like, yo, this shit dope. Like, yo, this is what niggas really was trying to get to. They're like, this is props to them for making some shit like this, and cool. Let that be the end of it. I'm not gonna make some camera, but look at these skin tones. So you ain't gonna get this one. Nah, just like leave it alone. Like, so what?
Yeah, I think
it's cool. You want to go back and forth.
A7 III, right?
What you mean?
That was the A7 III.
That was the A7 IV. That was the A7 IV.
That was the A7 IV. Yeah.
Oh, that was before.
It was shooting in the dark.
Yeah, A7 IV. Yeah. And then I gotta go back and forth with Nikon people. Like, yo, they're like, yo, but did you see? I'm like, yo, I know how to use my Nikon camera. Like, of all people, I know what I'm talking about. I'm making a point. The point is that like you ain't got to do all this shit with the Sony. With the Sony, it do it automatically. And like with the Nikon, you got to work around. I'm the number one workaround. I've been doing my whole life. I just posted a reel while I was working around the situation. Like, come on now, but I gotta go through with Nikon. As soon as you say something, even if you're a Nikon fan, you say somebody that's like, oh yeah, I'm like, so
It's on
You
now.
can't win that.
yeah.
It's
But
on.
here's the thing. This is the thing. I'm all for that if it's gonna make me money. If I'm just doing it just to cause, like, then cool. So I created the video and people was getting at me in the comments. I'm like, all right, good. As long as they click in the video, as long as they getting the views, and I can stand by what I said. I'm not saying anything inflammatory just for clickbait and sensation. If I'm saying something that I really stand by, but you got like some opinions about it, cool. Let's have a conversation. I'm all with it because it gets me views. It gets me like ad dollars and stuff like that. It'll help me make more money, give me more exposure. And I really mean it. But if you just, making a post about my camera can do this and yours can, just to make people mad, like, it's like, okay.
And see, that's the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of them, I said it earlier, they brag about the limitations or the features on their camera, but 75% of them don't even use that. Like, they worried about video and don't shoot video.
Bro,
It's got a 1.5 crop. And I'm like, don't shoot video.
You speaking the truth right there. You're speaking the truth.
It don't shoot 20 frames, bro. You don't shoot nothing high speed. Like,
yeah, you in the studio talking about some 20 frames per second with a backdrop. Well, we got 20 frames. What about dynamic range? You in the studio. You got controlled lighting. What is dynamic range on? Turn the light down. What are you talking about? You shooting at sunset talking some dynamic range. What?
That's why I say, man, like, in 2022 and 2021, like, you can't go wrong with any of these cameras, man.
You really can't, bro.
Started off with like D5000s and 12 megapixels and 8 focus points. Like, we done got a little lazy. We want that eye autofocus and stuff like that. But like RBJ said, it's nothing for us to press that single point and put it where it needs to go.
That part. That part.
That's the story of my life right there.
So I got a question. Let me ask it like this, because I don't know. Most of you don't know what my main job is. I'm a senior engineer in the IT field. So I've been following innovations.
You can say your mouth for God's That's why he got that cannon. Okay, it makes sense.
Look, those who know.
Right.
But I said that to say that I've had to follow innovations and technology changes and switches and updates and everything. And it's no different on the creative side with photography and cinematography. And with all the conversations about what these cameras have the ability to do, are we seeing is innovation displacement for creativity in our field?
I think
so. And talk about why you feel that way.
I feel that way because at least in the field, in the comments, like a lot of people are now, like you said before, going back and forth about the features and the tech. Like, so I was in my recent comment about like the A7 IV and how I was using it, and it was like, yeah, and the Sonys are so much farther ahead, and this, that, and the third. And I was just like, in my head, I'm like, okay, technology, they have the edge in the autofocus. And then people don't understand why I still love my Nikon so much. It's because of the user experience. And the user experience, the feel of the camera, how the menus work, the colors. Like when I take an image, you might know, Lamont, because you shoot Canon. Like, or even you, RBJ, when you take a picture, forget how you got the picture, whether it was with autofocus tracking or real-time tracking or autofocus. Mm-hmm. When you look at that photo on your computer and you see the colors and the lighting and the tones and the skin tones, like that just is a rewarding feeling to me. That is going to be better than any kind of autofocus or any kind of real-time tracking or any kind of 8K can give. It's just the quality and the end result. And that's why I still stick on my Nikons and still fight and I'll deal with the the, the um the autofocus issues just to be able to create what I can create with my Nikon. Not to say that I can't create that with anything else, but when you start jumping to the other systems because they have this feature and that feature, I feel like then you're chasing technology and you're chasing specs as opposed to chasing the creativity and chasing the art. Because at the end of the day, like you said, E-Dub, like these people are like bragging about specs that they don't even use. Like, when's the last time you took a picture that couldn't be taken on a G5000?
Right.
Like, if you're really talking like, most of the pictures that we take, even most of the stuff I take, I tell people like most of the pictures I take, like you can take what a Canon Rebel. Like, you don't need a Z6 to take what I take. I have it because I like the convenience. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let that get lost on the fact that it's about your creativity. And I create these videos and I put the gear in because that's what drives views and stuff. But if gear was like, all right, we don't care about gear, then I'd be more focused on trying to be more creative with my photography and create more creative like concepts. But like when I'm trying to review a lens, I'm just trying to get this lens review out, and I'm like, what can I put in the title that's going to get me views and make me money and stuff like that? And I still love film. So, and that's another thing that people don't understand is that this real-time tracking is awesome, but if you give me a film camera, I'll create with a film camera and love it, and because I love the experience and the outcome of film. It's just a rewarding feeling to be like, man, look at that image, look at the organic feel, like the natural light and all that stuff like that. So that stuff means a lot to me. Like, and then when I look at the people who inspire me on Instagram, the photos that I look at, like it's the artwork that I'm looking at. I'm not trying to figure out what camera to use. I'm looking at their lighting. I'm looking at all of that stuff like that. So I think that at least among the geeks, the technology is. This is guy. He's like a big geek. We go back and forth about technology, and I look at his work, and I'm just like, yo, you got a whole A1, and this is what you create with an A1, and I'm just like, this is exactly, and be proud as I don't know what with an A1, and then hand on R3, and the work looked like, so.
I think Phil in the comments can you pop that up there, Lamar? I think he made a good point. At the end of the day, those other bells and whistles, it comes down to being like more efficient, right? If you want to do it faster, because I would be lying if I sat here and said that when I shot with my D850 and I did the focus and recompose versus my Z6 II with the eye or face detection. I mean, for a headshot, I'm great. D850 get it done. But if I'm on the street and we got a little bit of motion going, a little bit of moving, and it does help speed up the process with composition and stuff like that. So yeah, it does, and it makes it more efficient. But at the end of the day, if you can't get your focus acquired, just move the joystick, the single point, and put it on there and get the picture, get the shot. So I mean,
I see the comment for Phil. Yeah.
I agree with that, RBJ. Just like for me, like when I'm inside the studio, coming from the D850 to the Z7 II, I was using a single point, but having that eye autofocus definitely made it just a lot easier for me to not have to worry about getting that single point on the eye all the time. As far as innovation. For me, I know me and Ike actually talked about. We talked about this on my channel. I was asking them about innovation or YouTube driving innovation in terms of gear acquisition. And so for me, that's where I more so see innovation being driven to have to get the next latest and greatest in terms of if I'm trying to push some views up, because I know after a while everybody's going to be searching the latest and greatest hottest item.
I think for me it's a catch-22. I would say that innovation has killed some of my creativity, considering that like I started off with the lower spec cameras, dreaming of gimbals and all this other stuff. And now I have a lot of the things I thought I wanted, and I'm not doing as much as I was doing before I actually had the tools that I was dreaming about. So I sometimes I feel like the innovation is like a catch-22. Like you get this stuff and it kind of kills some of that creativity in you. Because before you were trying stuff a little bit more, and I may not have the most steadiest, footage, but I'm gonna warp stabilize this and I'm gonna put something out. Like, I feel like now that I got a lot of tools, now I have like paralysis through analysis. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna take that out. Okay, if I take this out, then I got to use that, and it's like it kind of hinders the process at times.
Okay, so I got a good way to piggyback off what you're saying. So when you talk about innovation, when we talk about innovation in lens design, right? When you can go from like f2.8 to a f1.2 lens, and people love the the 105 f1.4, and why is that? Because it's a what? Bokeh master, right? Well, when you blur out the background, there's nothing creative in blurring out the background. But now, if you had to do that same shot with like a f4, f5, you kind of got to be a little bit more creative in how you compose and how you light the subject and where you light the subject. Like having to be able to go up to 2 million ISO. Now you may not look for the best light and get the most light. You guys might shoot in the worst conditions just because you can bump the ISO up. And so, like you were saying, E-Dub, like it is a catch-22 because on one hand, it does make things more efficient. But if you lose your willingness and your drive to be creative and to still have that hunger for getting that certain type of shot, and then you just start relying on technology, it does kill the creativity.
Yeah.
And then the specs, like I said, the specs become the conversation as opposed to how you lit the subject or how did you get that expression, or you make posts. Like I made a post about using a reflector. These people making posts about how good the autofocus is. Like, okay. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't go anywhere without a reflector now. When I'm doing natural light, and that's because of watching Ike videos. Yeah, gotta have a reflector, man. And thanks to Ike, I put my models, their muscles are getting built up. They're built up. Like, hold that.
You don't know how.
reflector.
Look here. When we hit cut, I was like, "Oh God, Lord!" As soon as they hit cut, oh dang, you throw this shit out here. All right, cool. Let's just do it regular.
Nah, I mean, it's real though. Like a lot of us started off with flashes, and then Godox came in with the affordable strobes because before that the pickings were slim, and now it's like we nitpick on the new stuff, and it's like, dude, we didn't even have this 5 years ago. Like,
exactly. You gotta learn how to get it without that. I had an instructor that taught us, and we had classes on this stuff, man. It just blew my mind. And this guy is like the believer in not having a lot of crap with you. So how do you get that? How do you get that fill light on somebody? You don't have the perfect lighting. You don't have the big soft box. Get that reflector, put it on your shoulder, put a flash on your camera, point it back towards the reflector, pop, shoot it, and pop it right back at her. Or use the sun. If the sun is coming that way, point the reflector, let the sun hit it, and come back. That stuff is getting lost because everybody wants to. I like to do strobes too, but there's times where the space is limited and the time is limited. You don't have time to set up a big old soft box. So how are you going to get a soft picture? How are you going to make a soft box light source bigger? Get that big old translucent thing out there. Put the strobe against, put the flash against it, and let it bounce and make it bigger. People don't know that because they get too caught up in how to do it the most convenient way. Yeah. Have those.
Hey, hold up a second. I'm gonna dip out for a second, and I'm gonna go to YouTube, and I'm gonna try to post it on my stories to get people to join the stream, to join the channel, and then I'm gonna come back for because I'm at the gym, but I want more people to be able to see this, or whatever. So I'm gonna post it on my stories, then I'm gonna come back.
All right.
Appreciate that.
All right, dip out for a second.
All right.
So we got to learn how to get. We got to learn how to get the technology. You got to learn how to get things done without being able to carry all that equipment around. Because I'll tell you what, man, as much as I love bringing lights and stuff around, when I see that other photographer throwing down over there with just a camera and how fast they moving and spots they going to, he just got his camera and maybe just a reflector in his camera bag. I'm like, hey, bro, And I'm over here like, hold on, wait. Let me get this loaded up. Wait, I'll be there in a second. Just wait. Hold on. Just wait.
Damn.
All right, my main man, Shot by Towns, is in the building. Everybody,
Yeah.
welcome,
What up?
welcome,
Got the
welcome.
heavyweight in here. What's up with y'all?
What's
Not
going on?
much, man.
What y'all ain't gonna do?
Shout out to SJ Square with all
Yeah,
the
yeah. Shout out to SJ Square. He ain't even
all the
jumping in here
equipment.
yet.
Hey, listen. What y'all ain't gonna do is sit here and disrespect the God, Brandon Cole. That's what y'all ain't gonna do.
All right, here we go.
So,
Here we
so
go.
we
Hey,
about to
Towns,
push
all you
the
said
hell
like
out of
3
here.
Hail Marys.
There you
I
go.
said 3 Hail Marys and I
You know
asked
what
for
I'm saying?
forgiveness. Right.
You
That's
never.
him. You know what I'm saying?
Wear your Brandon Cole rosary beads, all right? Coming in here trying to defend him. Wear
You
your
guys
Brandon
are
Cole
tripping.
hat turned to
Listen,
the side, to the back. Rosary beads out here.
Brandon, I like you,
hey,
man.
y'all, listen, y'all.
Shout out to Brandon Cole, man. Shout out
Yeah.
to brother. He cool.
Hey, listen,
Yeah,
man. Y'all know
yeah,
I'm
man.
canny every day. That's that new phrase, man. They canny.
You
Yeah,
can't.
Y'all don't know nothing about that.
Candy.
For those of y'all who don't know, my man Shot by Towns is a day walker. You understand? He blade out here. He blade out here in these streets. Okay,
Listen.
he operate in the dark
Oh,
and he operating in the light. You understand? So you already know what time it is when it comes to Towns. You know what I'm saying? You don't know which blicky he gonna pull out on you. You don't know if it's gonna be the Canon. You don't know if it's gonna be the Sony. But
But hold
understand,
on. The one
at
thing
the-
I will say about Towns though is that Towns did his homework when he came back to Canon, because Towns and I exchanged some information. We talked about that when he's making that move back to Canon. So
Yeah.
he made decisions based upon what he saw and what works for him. So and that's the whole point of this whole thing, is that take Brandon Cole out of the situation. It's just that when you have a following that big, there comes a certain level of responsibility, period, whether you want it or not.
Facts.
You can't just go telling people that certain systems can't do certain things when they can. And then when I prove it, don't move the goalpost and talk about the degrees of shade and talk about the price level of the camera. You said that it cannot acquire a focus with shades. You didn't say damn near freaking knockout blackout shades. You said shades. and I gave you shades and it worked. And I was very honest, guys. I was very honest. I said it did not acquire as fast as as fast as the Sony did. It didn't, but it did. But it got done. It was done.
right.
It did the job.
Right. It ain't like a chick was jogging with shades on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't shooting that anyway.
Exactly.
I think
the real point he was trying to make, and Ike made the point in his video when he did the wedding. I think the point he was trying to make, albeit he went about it wrong, is that, I'm not gonna say he went wrong. I just didn't like the way he went about it. The point is that it can shoot in very, 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 very low light, and it can shoot through very, 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 very dark objects.
Right.
And that's all you have to say. You don't have to throw Canon or throw Nikon into the mix. Just, hey, I appreciate this about the Sony 7 IV because it can do this.
Right.
And that's that.
I mean, listen, all the cameras do the same thing now, like somebody said earlier. But I will tell you this though. I got the y'all know I got the Canon and I got the Sony. The Sony the focus system is better. And don't mean that the R5 focus system is trash. I'm just saying that it's better to me. It may not be to everybody else, but the colors off that Canon is fire though.
Yes, sir. The RF lenses, fire.
Talk to me.
Yeah. Those lenses are.
That's all I'm saying. Talk to me nice.
I mean, you may go broke. You may not have any money to eat dinner, but I mean, the RF lenses,
you might have to get that kidney up for sure.
Right.
For sure. You gotta get that kidney up.
That's the question. And we got every brand in here. Honestly, in y'all opinion, do y'all feel like Canon colors are better than Nikon, or Nikon better than Canon?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna be honest.
On the man's stream,
I'm gonna be honest. I can't, as somebody that, like I said earlier, I had the hardest time choosing between getting a Canon when I went full frame and a Nikon. I can't decide. Like I love both of them equally. It's
Okay.
just it was just a matter of familiarity with me. My
See,
first DSLR was
Lamont
a
the type of girl,
50.
Lamont the type of guy that like big girls and little girls. You know what I'm saying? I
I
like the medium girls. You know what I'm saying? Ones with the curve, Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying? That ratio. But this is what I'm saying though. Look, the Nikon is warmer, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And Canon is a little bit more cooler with the
Magenta.
pastel colors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And that's what I like.
yeah.
I
We're
will
not even
say
gonna talk about Sony's colors.
no, we're not. We're not. I would say as a person that edits them now more frequently, that edits both the Nikon files and the Canon files. Nikon comes out of camera how I really want it with the warmth, how I really want it on skin tones now. Skin tones. I have to massage the Canon file a little bit more to get it where I want to, but that so what? Who cares? I still like those colors too. Now, now when I'm shooting landscapes and buildings and stuff like that, I like Canon's colors better. I don't know why that is, but I like Canon's colors better for things that are not dealing with skin tones.
But this the crazy thing. We all color grading, right?
Right. So you're gonna make it how you want to.
Yeah, everybody color grade. So I mean, I understand you want to get close to where you wanted your photos to be, but the way I be seeing people color grade, they be shifting the colors all over it anyway. So it's like, come on, man.
So it don't matter what you getting, what camera you got.
Yeah,
you effing it up
you can
anyway.
shoot with somebody called what is it, a Lucy or something. Yeah, they called it a Lucy the other day in chat room. I mean, Clubhouse. I was like, that's funny, bro.
T-Man, what's your opinion? You're obviously a Nikon shooter.
And Sony. He's Sony and Nikon though, right?
Yeah. So I got some Sonys too. So yeah, I used the Canon R5 a couple times, and I actually have a Canon also, but it's like a T5 or something like that. But when I did use the R5 and then the R, I did notice for me, my colors got closer with the Nikon. But when you come back to the editing, that's why I think it's unique, because you kind of already have your workflow. So I think it might take just a little bit more work, but for the most part, you're going to get it to where you need it to be.
Agreed. I agree. And I saw a photo of me. I saw Ike's. He's right. Sony has kind of fixed that orange problem. That orange problem used to be a real problem. Like, God, somebody took a picture of me, a fellow photographer that had A7R4. And I'm like, do you not see my face is orange as hell? Do you not see that? I'm freaking orange. Can you fix me, please? And then posted it on social media. I said, can you take that down and fix my complexion? So I have heard.
Let me ask this question. Was that
it's gotten
afterwards?
better. Huh?
Did he do any post-processing to that photo?
Yes, she did.
Oh, she did. Okay.
No, and I'm not saying, I'm just correcting it because it wasn't a he. I'm not saying that she and he makes a difference. It was a she, and it was orange. I was orange, and we fixed the problem after I brought it to her attention. And she fixed it in post-processing. She brought it down.
You need to stay out the sun, brother. I think that's just you, man. You just orange.
I'm not that damn orange, man. I was orange as an orange.
Oh, that kind of orange?
I was orange.
Jeez.
Bad.
That's crazy, man.
What did I say?
He said it's not so much about color grading; it's about not having to work as hard in post. I've had Nikon files so good that all I had to do was one click, a preset, and it's done. I find it the same way for me with the R5, like with Canon's period. In my experience, I didn't have to do much, especially using editing in Capture One, which in 2022, my man Shop by Towns is gonna have a whole color grading tutorial coming out for sale in the 2022. Hey y'all, I'm putting pressure on him right now.
That Capture
I'm
One
putting
is a game.
pressure
I
on.
love Capture One, man.
I love it. I almost don't have to press no button. As soon as I bring my image up in Capture One, it's already 90% there to me.
Yeah. T man, wait, hold on. What you use, T?
I got the Z7 II.
No. Editor.
What you edit with?
Oh, so Lightroom and Photoshop.
Oh man, kick him off the stage, man. This dude don't belong here. Take your whole YouTube channel down.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey, you know,
Come on.
I had Capture One, but man, my workflow with those, I know it's a beast, but I might migrate eventually.
It takes a minute to get used to
All right.
it. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole
Yep.
different kind of workflow.
It was intimidating to
I'm
me. I
still-
was intimidated by it.
I'm still learning my way around it. I've been in Adobe for over 20 something years, so I learned how to edit before I really learned how to shoot. Yeah, I know I recognize the learning curve when you move over to trying to use Capture One, but it's an excellent program. And Shot by Towns is one of the best out there, man. So look out for his color grading.
Man,
look out for his color grading. He's being really modest right now, but if you go over to his Instagram, Shot by Towns, right now, I guarantee you're gonna see some fire all the way down his grid.
It's fire anyway. He knows.
Check him out. I told him I'm putting the pressure on him for 2022 to offer his color grading training and teaching. I think it's needed and it's wanted. So
well, the question I got a question for you, Towns. I got a real quick question for you. You know, Lightroom came out with the ability to basically just identify the subject, which is like, I like that. I haven't found that feature in Capture One. Is that feature there to where it automatically?
It's there, bro.
Okay, then you have to chat. Then I'll throw you. I need to figure out, because right now the way I do it is way too crazy. Trying to separate it.
Well,
it's there, man.
just like Adobe products, Capture One every year adds different tools and innovations to it that's comparable to its competitors. So it's just about finding
it. Find that one.
The menu.
That's a major goal. If I could find it to just automatically detect the subject, and then you just have to make a little slight correction if it's off, and then invert that background. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. I need to find that.
Yeah, all right, man. So I mean, you gotta imagine.
Go ahead.
You gotta imagine, man. Lightroom kind of took that from Capture One, bro.
Yeah.
That whole thing. A lot of people know where it's at, but they just don't use it or know how to apply it. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about going in there and doing it, man. What I'm teaching, what I can teach people is nothing new. It's just people haven't doing it or not don't have it in their workflow. So, I mean, just like anybody, man. When you buy these tutorials, man, they're not really teaching you something like magical. It's just something that you ain't picked up on or you ain't been using. That's all it is.
I agree.
That's all right, but it's like they people are willing to pay for that information. You know, that's not readily available to them. Like I always tell you, man, you got something to offer, and I believe people are willing to invest in their growth and their creative expression with a few arrows from somebody like yourself that's proficient in it. So
please note he's wearing shades.
Word, and he's in focus, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's them Brandon Code things, man. You know what I'm
saying? He got shades on.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's doing good, man. You still on? We're gonna have to continue this conversation. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. Man, this has been incredible live stream. Thanks for everybody for joining in and tuning in to this conversation, creative differences of opinion. And I appreciate my guest, RBJ Photography, T Mid, Shot by Towns, my man, EW Images, Photo Me Ike. Thanks to everybody to join, SJ Squared, Phil Lewis, all you guys for participating and commenting. This is just the beginning for 2022. Lamont Warren Photography. You know what it is. Appreciate you, gentlemen, for jumping on and joining in this intriguing conversation. And I guess all it is to do now is to follow all of these great gentlemen on here. If you're not already following them on Instagram or on YouTube, follow all of these gentlemen. I respect greatly for their artistic and creative abilities. I just appreciate all of y'all for joining and helping kicking off this year's YouTube and just being present on the internet, man. So thanks for the motivation, T Mid.
So we
To
seeing
get
some
on
more
here.
stuff coming from you 2022.
Yes, sir. We gonna do it, man. We gonna do it. I've been following that Blogmas for a reason, because I got to get up here and start doing it. So this was a great conversation. This was a great kickoff, and look forward for more of this to come. So any last words from any of y'all? Y'all want to talk to the audience and just, I don't know what you want to say to them before we sign off. RBJ, you got the glasses on. Talk to them.
All right. I like to just say thanks for having me on. It was fun, and a lot of the guys on here I've spoken to before. I take that. Yeah, I'm being inspired by a lot of these guys. And I think, Lamont, we've been talking. I think this is going to be the year that I do start my YouTube
Let's go
channel. We're gonna start it up, but I'm gonna talk to some of these guys about it, T-Man and Ike, and there's some things that I gotta get some answers to before I start doing it. So, but yeah, follow me at rbj.photography on Instagram.
All right, T-Mid, what you want to tell them?
Well, yeah, I'll echo what RBJ said, and appreciate bringing me on, and appreciate everybody supporting my channel. And yeah, definitely, hey, I'm definitely looking for more content, because I don't even watch TV. I'm on YouTube all the time, so I'm always looking to see when somebody dropped a new video. So
that's what's up. Appreciate that. Shot by Towns, what you got? Talk to the people.
What's up, bro? Hey, man, first I want to say thanks for letting me come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Lamont, you always in my text pushing me, brother, and I appreciate that, man. And all the rest of the guys that was on, man, y'all do amazing work. Yeah, y'all can check me out at Shot by Towns on Instagram. But I want to leave you guys with this, man, that I heard a guy say on Clubhouse, man. This year, and it's gonna be my motto this year, man. Every time I shoot, I'm gonna go in there hoping it's something that could be memorable. You know what I'm saying? That can stand the test of time. So you know what I'm saying? Every time you shoot, ask yourself, is what you're creating is something that will stand the test of time? And that's the mindset that we need to have. You know what I'm saying? Every time we go out and put these shoots together and pick up that camera, man. But y'all keep shooting, bro.
You heard it here, Lamont Warren Photography. Thank you for joining our live stream on the 1st of 2022. Let's go.
Thank you, brother.
All right, bro. Y'all have a great one. Peace.
Later, man.
Peace.
All right, and we out. Hey.
Hey, you trying to bump like you from Detroit, bro? You trying to bump like you from the D?
I don't know. I think they do it like this in Dade County too.
Is that how they do it?
That's how they do it.
Thanks for having me, brother. Peace.
In the DMV. I appreciate you, D-Town, RBJ. That's my brother. You know.
Good D.
Y'all look forward to cameras and cigars coming soon. 2022.
Oh yeah.
We'll do that, yo.
Cameras and cigars.
Shout out to my man Photo Me Ike. You know I got these sounds from. You already know where I got these sounds from. Hey. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. So if you're still here, like, comment, subscribe. You know what it is.
My man.
giving out apology when I'm behind. Fucking up the piece of the brand new ride.
Going too fast, candy paint with the windows all black, seats creme brulee. What they gon' say? With the top down, screaming money and anything. Be up till 6 in the morning.
All right, y'all, I'm done.
When the sunrise, we'll be on it.